Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is another old faves and new finds video, which means that I will be doing a tutorial on this look using old favorite products that I just have missed using in tutorials that I really want to pull out again, plus new products that I've been wanting to try out or that I've tried out recently that I really like, and I'm going to mesh the two, kind of do a tutorial using both of them. I've done one other video like this before and you guys seem to like it, and I certainly enjoy filming them, so I'm going to kind of make it a series, I think, here on my channel, just because it's really fun for me to be able to pull out some makeup that's kind of sitting there that I just haven't had a chance to use because there's always new products coming out, and so I want to just dip into my old products as well as try some great new ones or new ones that I'm really excited about. Before we get into this tutorial, please make sure to join the family by hitting the subscribe button, and if you want to be notified, you can just hit the little bell after you subscribe, and that'll just mean that you will get a notification every time I post, so you'll never miss out. So if you guys want to see how I created this look right here using old favorite makeup products plus some new finds, then just keep watching. Alright, so for my brows today, I used the Too Faced Chocolate Brownie Brow Pencil. This is kind of old to me, but kind of new to me at the same time. I got it a while back, but it's been a long time since I've used it, and so I don't really remember, or I didn't remember really how I liked it. I actually really do like the color of it and how it applied through the brows. I was happy to pull this out again, and then I just carved it out with the same old concealer that I always use. I just love the shade and the consistency of this for carving out my brows. It's the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Concealer. So let's do the eyes first, I think, just because I think I'm going to do something really pretty and gold, and maybe a little bit smoky. I don't really know yet, but just in case, I want to be able to do the eyes first so that we can clean up any fallout. So I'm going to be going into an old favorite. I'm going to take the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. It's been a long time since I've used this, and I'm just going to use this to prime the eyelids. I used to use this literally every day, but it's just been a long time, and I know it's such a great concealer, but I've just kind of forgotten why I loved it so much. So I'm just going to blend this out on the eyelids with my beauty blender, and then I'm going to set that down with the MAC Patrickstarrr face powder. I am so excited to try this. Obviously, I'm going to really put it to the test, setting the face and everything, but since I'm going to test this out all over the face, I thought I might as well set the eye concealer with it as well, because that's just what I normally do. I'll just take whatever face powder I'm using and set the eyes before I go in with eyeshadow. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this, and I'm really excited because it's kind of like a light pink. I don't know if you guys can really see, but it's kind of like a peachy pink shade, which I'm hoping is going to be really, really nice and brightening. So let's go ahead and set the lids with this. Oh my gosh, it left them so smooth. I'm so excited to put this on my face. I'm putting it on my face, but like, you know, under my eyes and stuff like that. It's so finely milled and so... Oh, I think I'm gonna really like this. Okay, so now that our lids are really nice and prepped, I'm gonna go in with a new find for me, but I know it's going to be an old favorite for so many of you. I just am so late on the bandwagon, but I really wanted to own this palette, so I'm gonna be using the Urban Decay Original Naked Palette. I know a lot of you have this and love it, and I've had it for a week or two now, and I love it as well. So I'm excited to use this in this tutorial because I feel like a lot of you guys may actually have this palette, so it'll be fun to recreate the look if you do. I'm going to start off with this shade right here called Naked. It's the perfect like taupey transition shade. I'm just going to start out how I usually do and just start sweeping this through the crease. I just love it. It's the most perfect neutral brown shade. It seriously is so pretty. And the key with any eyeshadow is just to blend. So I'm just moving back and forth. I haven't put any more product on the brush yet, and I just kind of blend it until I feel like there isn't any more product on the brush, and then I might add in a little bit more where I want more depth and just kind of repeat it until you get the color payoff and depth that you want. Next, I'm going to go into this shade right here called Buck, and this is just a slightly deeper brown shade that I'm going to use right underneath the transition to really add some depth there. Just sweeping back and forth and making sure it blends into the transition shade. Next, I'm going to go into Half Baked, which is the most gorgeous gold shade ever, and I'm just going to sweep this across the lid. I'm actually going to go in and use my finger to make it a little bit more intense because I want it to be really nice and gold, so I'm just going to start layering that up with my finger from the inner corner, kind of, not all the way in, to about halfway across the eyelid. Then I love to just take whatever brush I was using in the crease just to make sure that the gold glitter shade doesn't go up too high. So next I'm going to take the shade right next to Half Baked, which is this one right here called Smog. And I'm going to take my finger with this one as well and just press this on the outer third of the eye, kind of blending it inward toward the gold shade. And I'm just taking that brush again and making sure there's no harsh lines and that it's all nice and blended together. Then I'm going to take the black shade right here called Creep, and I'm just going to take this on a brush and just really start to deepen up the outer third of the eye. I'm only using a very small amount because I still want it to be kind of soft, but I do want more depth on the outer corner. I'm blending a little bit into this outer V here as well. Then for eyeliner, I'm also going to be using a new find. This is the Stila Smudge Stick Waterproof Eyeliner. I've used this in, I think I tried to use it in one tutorial, but I've been obsessed with this. It's like the most beautiful olive green eyeliner, but it has a little bit of gold glitter in it, and I've been loving to put it on the top lash line. It just adds something extra. So I'm just going to smudge this between the lashes on the top lash line, and it just adds a little something. It's subtle enough though that it goes with so many eye looks, but when you look up close, there's like this really gorgeous olive green, golden, glittery eyeliner, and it's just so pretty. So now I'm just going to clean up some fallout and also sharpen up the edge out here. And I always just dab the line to really soften it. So I'm gonna go into an old favorite. I haven't used this in so long. I'm really excited to pull it back out again. It's the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. It literally feels so cool on the skin, if I remember right, and it just really perfects any texture and pores. Oh my gosh. I forgot how cool that feels. Sorry, I always have swatch stains on my hands. I'm always swatching and trying out new products and some of them do not come off the hand for a few hours. For foundation, I'm going to go in with a new find. I'm going to use the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour foundation. I just did a foundation review on this foundation, so if you want to check that out, I will go ahead and link it down below. And I actually have not tried this foundation with that primer. I'm interested to see how it blends out on top. So I'm going to start off by applying it with a brush, and then I'm going to press that in further with my beauty blender. And I always make sure to blend it on the ears if my hair is pulled back, and also down the neck. And if your hair is pulled back, don't forget to kind of pull it a little bit further back on the neck, just so that there's not a line here. So I'm going back into that Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. It's been so long since I've used this. I'm just putting it all the way down the center of the face, as well as under the eyes. And then taking my same beauty blender and just blending all of that out. So now I'm going to set the under eyes using my sponge and the MAC Patrickstarrr powder. I know Patrick loves to bake the under eyes, and so I'm sure this powder is kind of designed to do so. So I want to try it. Let's see what happens. So one thing that I'm already noticing and loving about it is it's not like darkening my concealer, which usually always happens with most setting powders, just because I do have pretty fair skin. But that one like almost brightened it further. It's crazy. I'm gonna be dusting away the under eye powder wherever we kind of baked. Then I'm also going to take a little bit of this powder and set the entire face. That looks so nice on the skin. I forgot to put an eye cream under my eyes before I did my makeup, so it is feeling kind of dry under my eyes, but I'm sure if I hydrated that area a little better next time, it would look and feel a little bit less tight. But overall, that made my skin look really flawless and really beautiful. So I'm excited to see how this kind of wears, and I loved the color and the brightening effect that it gave. So let's go back into this eyeshadow palette and we will finish up the eyes. I'm just gonna kind of go in the same order, starting off with this shade called Naked, and we're just going to buff this along the lower lash line as kind of a lower lash line transition shade. Then I'm gonna go into Half Baked, the pretty gold shade that we used, and I'm just going to run this on the inner third to about halfway. That didn't make sense. I'm gonna run it from the inner corner to about halfway. And then going into Smog right next to it. This is gonna go on the outer third. And I love to kind of blend it up this way. Then I'm gonna take this shade right here called Buck, and I'm gonna take kind of a flatter brush so I can really get close to the lash line. And I'm gonna kind of smudge this between the lashes as a really light eyeliner, just to give some more subtle definition. So for mascara, I'm gonna go into an old favorite. I'm gonna use the Benefit They're Real mascara. This stuff is good. It's been a while since I've been able to use it, so I'm gonna put 2 coats on the top and bottom lashes. So going back into the eyeshadow palette, I'm gonna take both Virgin and Sin and mix them together. And this is what I'm gonna use for the inner corner of the eye, as well as right underneath the arch of the brow. For bronzer, I'm gonna hop into an old favorite. This is the Hourglass Ambient Nude Bronze Light Bronzer. I love this so very much. I'm just going to use this to warm up my complexion. This is such a gorgeous shade for anyone who has fair to light skin tones. It warms up the skin without it looking too muddy or orange. It's perfect. I love this bronzer. I love to go around the hairline, as most of you guys know, just because it makes it look way more natural to have the bronzer kind of fade through the hairline a little bit. It looks like you're actually sun-kissed instead of having like a gap right there. Oh man, I forgot how much I love this bronzer. It is so pretty. Okay, I'm also going to use a little eyeshadow brush to contour my nose slightly with this. So I'm just going to run a little bit down the sides of the nose and into this area here, as well as underneath. And then I always take the brush that I use translucent powder on and just blend out all of the edges to make sure it's nice and natural looking, especially over the nose. Sometimes I even take a little bit more setting powder just to really soften the nose contour. I don't love a harsh nose contour, but I always love to kind of shape it out somehow. So that's kind of how I soften it up. And then I love to put a little bit right under the lip. It makes it look a little more pouty. For blush today, I'm going to go into an old favorite. This is MAC Melba. Such a gorgeous, gorgeous blush shade. And I feel like it looks good on so many different skin tones. So I'm going to take that on a nice fluffy BH Cosmetics brush. This is the BH Cosmetics #1 brush. And I'm just going to press that onto the cheeks, kind of right above where we put the bronzer. And I'm just building it up until I get the amount of color that I want. I love how that setting powder made my under eyes look. They look really bright, especially on camera. I bet it photographs really well too. For highlighter, I'm going into an old favorite. It's been way too long since I've used this too, but I used to use this all the time. It's actually from Kylie Cosmetics. It is the highlighter in French Vanilla. I love these because they're so buildable, so you can really make them look subtle or you can build them up to look really beautiful. It's been a long time since I've used them, so let's see if I still feel the same. Ooh, that is so pretty. I always put it down the center of the face as well. Cupid's bow, a little bit above the brow. Just going to take my translucent powder brush again, kind of blend over that. I think now I love the NARS ones that I've been using from the Bord de Plage palette, but this one is still really pretty. So since I'm looking pretty matte all over the skin besides where I put the highlighter, I'm going to use a dewy setting spray. It's been a long time since I pulled this out. It's an old favorite, the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. I learned with this stuff that I personally only really like to put it on the outer parts of the face just because it makes the center of my face way too oily looking. And with the Maybelline foundation, this tends to get a little more dewy looking by the end of the day, so I'm just going to try using the Tatcha mist on the outside only. Smells really good though. For lips, I'm so excited to be using the Patrickstarrr MAC lipstick, or the Patrickstarrr Times Matte lipstick in the shade Mama Star. It's just the most beautiful brown nude. I may use a lip liner. Yeah, I think I'm going to use this one from Bare Minerals, the Gen Nude Under Over Lip Liner in the shade Freestyle. And that will just kind of shape out the lips. I'm going to go straight into Mama Star. Just apply that right on top. That is such a pretty color, you guys. I love the smell of MAC lipsticks. It's just so classic. It just smells like makeup. I love it. This is such a pretty shade, honestly. So for brows, I'm gonna set it with, it's kind of a new find and an old favorite. It's the Boy Brow from Glossier. I've been loving this. Just for when I like the kind of lighter, feathery looking brows, I love to run this through at the end of my makeup routine. Just adds a little bit of texture and volume to the brow. So this is the completed look, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I definitely had fun going into some of my old favorite products and also trying out some new ones. I'm especially excited about the MAC Patrickstarrr powder, and this lipstick shade is beautiful. So if you guys haven't checked this out yet, I definitely would. I really loved how it brightened up the under eye area. It's so pretty. I really love what it did. Even on my skin tone, this was designed to work for absolutely everybody. It's a universal color, so no matter what skin tone you have, if you're looking for a good setting powder, check this out. And this lipstick is just a classic MAC lipstick in the most beautiful shade. It's a really nice wintry nude. I feel like it'll work all year round, obviously, but for winter, it's just a little bit deeper, but it's still nice and neutral, which pairs really nice with this really soft neutral eye. So I hope you guys like the look. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to join the family by hitting the subscribe button on your way out if you haven't already, and I will see you all in my next video. Love you. Bye.